Hello, and welcome to the legendary world of Minecraft Legends. This is the Legends of Minecraft podcast. As Covert Zen is taking a personal break, I am joined here by Crytek Gaming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. There has been quite a bit going on with Legends as more time ramps up with more people playing the game. How has Legends been going for you?
Let's see. So I just actually accessed the first boss. I haven't had that much time to mess around with it, but I've got a good 6 or 7 hours at least under my belt. And from that, I'm stunned by the graphics and like obviously with Minecraft Dungeons, that game failed really quickly, right? And it wasn't that played. So it's been nice to see a game that Mojang put enough time into that it will hopefully sustain through the test of time.
For sure, for sure. So I'm guessing you have been playing the main campaign mainly?
I have, yeah. I haven't gone on to. I did see that they've got a marketplace with some other smaller quests, but I'm trying to get through the main quest before I end up going further.
I could definitely say same here. I haven't been as dedicated. I think I'm only like what 2.5 hours into it. I've been taking my sweet little time. Although I have actually now, since I was kind of talked into it last podcast episode about the Lost Legends, the Portal Pile or Portal Dash, whatever it's called. But I have now become addicted to that game mode. It's
Yeah.
been really fun to just save the same village over and over and like the different defenses and different ways you can have stuff be blown up. I mean, all sorts of fun going on with the Lost Legends for this last month.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I actually just recently last Wednesday I just did a short form video on all the structures in Minecraft Legends, so I'll definitely have to check out that mode to be able to see just to be able to use them all again and again. That'll be really cool.
Definitely.
I'm interested. So the other weekend, I was trying to do a video on the multiplayer mode, and I realized that that was paid for, and I thought that was interesting because I think that this is one of the first Minecraft games that one of the core features of the game is paid for
Mm-hmm.
through the Xbox Live subscription.
Very interesting. I mean, I know like you kind of brought in Dungeons here earlier. Like Dungeons, I mean, sure you had a few DLCs, but the main game was the main game. But now there's like a bit more being brought into this one via the marketplace.
Yeah, and I do think that that was probably, I think that as Minecraft was acquired by Microsoft, I think that they've been trying to do little nudges towards more to Microsoft's platform. And I think that since this was a completely new game, they were probably able to put a little bit more Microsoft into it than just changing the base Minecraft game, because I think people would probably be more mad if they did that to just like Minecraft Java or whatever.
Yeah. Not to say that Java's out of the woods yet, but hey.
I think, yeah, I'm hoping that Microsoft tries to leave Minecraft, Java, Bedrock, and those kind of games a little bit more alone, because I think they're pretty good, and I think that like this new game, it obviously made sense because it was completely created under Microsoft. But I think for games that weren't, they're doing the right thing to just keep going and not try to take steps back.
For sure, for sure. Well, now kind of going off of some of the things talked in the middle of that, with the portal pile now being the first thing in the first month, there was a Minecraft monthly again. Whoa, it's almost like it's monthly or something. And they had talked about the next upcoming monthly thing. Now, there wasn't too much said or shown about it, but it was kind of saving players and fighting piglins at the same time. I don't know if you got a chance to see that at all.
I did get a chance to see the Minecraft Monthly. I thought it was interesting because there's been a big debate on Reddit, right? I don't know if you've been able to catch this, but there's been a big debate on whether Mojang thinks it would be a game worth updating more, because a lot of people, like I mentioned, aren't finding it to be that long of a game, and so they're like, we wonder if Mojang will actually keep updating this game or if it'll just kind of go by the wayside. But I think this video was good proof that they're going to continue with their idea and just try to keep working as hard as they possibly can to get this video game off the ground.
For sure. And even if there's no update or no DLC or something, like if they do decide to abandon that not that they are, there's been no word about that, but if they would, at least they'd hopefully keep up with, like now that they've kind of confirmed that there's going to be another Lost Legends in the next month. Like hopefully they should keep that at least that much up for quite some time, which should be good for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that that's probably what they will do is if they were ever to abandon this game, they probably wouldn't like just stop altogether, but they probably would stop updating the main campaign and game modes and whatnot and just continue with that short thing every month. And I think that's a really good way to do it. I think that players, I was looking at the Google Trends earlier today, and I think Minecraft Legends is starting to go a little bit like they're going on an up curve, which is a good sign for the game. I think more people are taking interest to it. I think that it was a weird time to release the game because it was a Tuesday, and so I think that a lot of people probably missed that. But I think now that they've gone through probably the crazy part of whatever was going on, I think that probably now more people are going to be interested in it, and I think we'll see those numbers of daily players start to rise again.
Yeah, I did better. I mean, I know like a Tuesday or a Monday, that's when that's probably when the type of day that the 1.20 for regular Minecraft will come out. I mean, that's been a trend with updates for quite some time, putting it in the middle of the week, because that's what works best for Mojang. However, the month, the time, like you said, I don't think that was too horribly beneficial.
And I do think that that is very. I mean, with Minecraft, the base game, when they're releasing updates, they've already got, I think, like 7 million, 8 million monthly players, right? And so they've already got a strong base of players that they're going to make sure they get to it at some point and they're going to take the time to actually do it.
Hmm.
But with a new game, it's not as smart because you've got a zero player base at the beginning, right? And so they're not going to have that upward viewer trend already.
Well, and it's not Minecraft. Sure, it may fall under the title, but it's not Minecraft, and it's not really supposed to be Minecraft. It's just another rendition of its universe. So it is meant to be its own thing. So it's understandable why the statistics are the way they are, but still kind of appalling, though, to see how Minecraft Dungeons, the supposedly dead game, is doing better on the second week of a brand new one.
Yeah, and I do wonder if that was because they were getting anticipation or whatever. But I do think that while I do wonder if how many more games are going to be in this series of under the name of Minecraft, because they've already got the four base games, right? They've got Bedrock, Java, Dungeons, and now the new edition of Legends. And I wonder with the traits of Minecraft as we see them, like for example, the blockiness and the physics of the whole game and all of that stuff, I do wonder if how many more games they can sustain before they're out of ideas.
Well, and that's actually a fair point. Like, I mean, of course, when someone's trying to complain about something on the internet, they're going to find any way possible, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. But one of the things that I had honestly never thought about was, is Minecraft Legends really Minecrafty? If you retextured it, it could fall under any other game. It wouldn't necessarily. There's nothing other than the way things look that's tying it to Minecraft. So, I mean, in that sense, I feel like Minecraft could go on forever making spin off games, being a knockoff of like every other game out there, whether if they will or not. But I think the doors are quite wide open.
Yeah, and I get you do make a good point that a lot of the game is really not like Minecraft and it's mostly just the look of the game. But I do think that I was really astounded when I first got into the game that the physics were very different from the base game. Like if you'll notice when you go over water or if you're going through grass or whatever, you'll notice that the grass will part or the water will have like little water bubbles or whatever, and we don't see that in the base game. And I do think that that's actually one thing that I would like to see them transition over to the regular Minecraft game.
Yeah, for sure. What was it? I think it was a teaser, and of course, it was just someone making up. They were a texture pack or texture model maker, and they posted an image of a badger, like in regular Minecraft style, as if it was coming to the game, and it got a lot of popularity. And then they finally came clean and said, "Yeah, I made that up." But like taking some of the mobs, like people love that badger. I would love to see that in Minecraft. No complaints there at all. And I think there could definitely be so much, different crossplay or different, things from both worlds that could really come together, making the whole universe feel that much more Minecraft because we have this in this place and this in the other, even though this originated in the new game.
Exactly. Yeah, and I do find that to that point, I do find that interesting that before the game actually came out, a lot of the players who were awaiting the game were asking like, where does this fall into the Minecraft timeline, and is it going to be before, or is it going to be after, or is it kind of totally unrelated? And I think that after at least me playing a little bit of it, I think that Mojang went for the feel of it not being related to the base game at all, but I do wonder if future updates will make it more into the regular Mojang timeline.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the beginning, I think the very beginning scene, it's like, here's your casual world, and like we're pulling a player from their world, and now you're that player. So, like, I almost see it as they're kind of intertwined, but yet, one thing that we had talked about in a previous episode as well is this how the piglin or the ruined portals were made on the overworld? Like there's just so much connecting like the old Minecraft, the new Minecraft. I can definitely see where it would be confusing. Like where does this fit in on the timeline?
And I'll be interested to see if in some of those updates, like we saw in the Minecraft Monthly, that they are releasing more updates for this game. If we see more crossover, and maybe we will start being able to see a clear and defined timeline of the full Mojang universe.
For sure.
The other thing that I was impressed with when I first saw and looked into the game was the amount of bugs that were in this game were close to none, which I was really impressed with because I think that a lot of games when they first release are full of bugs and there's lots of stuff that isn't very polished about the game. But I think that this game, I mean, I think with the 7 or 8 hours of me playing, I've only seen one or maybe two bugs, but they've been so minor that a lot of people wouldn't even notice they were there.
No, that's definitely fair. I mean, a few people, I mean, there's been enough complaints to go around about the PvP mode and stuff, but those aren't necessarily bugs. I mean, everything's working as intended. Definitely some things that could be changed, but there's nothing downright game breaking or I mean, it's smooth and I don't think you're going to get halfway through the campaign and not be able to continue because of something either. So, definitely good to see that.
Yeah, and what I noticed from it was that it was really impressive the way that they did it, because I think the biggest bug I found was sometimes when you would go to villages out of order, sometimes audio that had previously played would play again, but I mean even that isn't that game breaking. And you could still continue through the campaign without having to stop and redo whatever. And I think that's really the point, is like unless there's a bug that is like game breaking and you have to keep starting over, it's that in my eyes is a really good startup for a game.
For sure. Speaking of that, though, I found it funny on YouTube, and some other comments going around in the Legends universe is people are thinking that the game isn't honestly that long. Now, here you're saying you spent 7 hours on it, but one YouTuber posted, "I beat Minecraft Legends in 16 minutes." If you watch the video, by no means did he beat it in 16 minutes, nor did he claim to, but that was the title of the video. And for a while, there was a lot of people going around saying, yeah, Minecraft Legends isn't that long. Someone beat it in 16 minutes.
And I think, yeah, and I think that that's also a point to the base game, which, or the original game of Minecraft, is that the original game of Minecraft is so open source that you could spend, like, we see these series and it's like, I spent 3,000 days in hardcore mode in Minecraft, right? And I think that a lot of players in the Minecraft universe were expecting Minecraft Legends to be like that, in the fact that you could keep going in the game forever. And I think that people didn't realize that they're comparing apples and oranges and the games aren't the same. And I think in that same respect that while Minecraft Legends, I think that Minecraft Legends is also, you're not able to play it faster than the allotted amount of time because like with Minecraft there's tips and tricks to speed run it, right? And people have got it down to a near science to like 6 minutes or 7 minutes. But I think that when you look at Minecraft Legends, there's certain things that have to go in order. So even if you did everything perfectly, it would still be a couple hours in the game before you finish the main campaign. And that's not even to mention the Lost Legends that we were talking about.
For sure, yeah. There's just so much going on, and like you said, there is an order in which you have to do things. You know, there, what are their names? Foresight, knowledge, and whatever the other one is, are going around and, like, they're guiding you, and you have to do this. I mean, if they say, hey, you need to save the skeletons, you should probably go save the skeletons.
Yeah. And I think that that's the other thing about the two different games is that it's like with Minecraft Legends, it's way more story driven. I mean, Minecraft, don't get me wrong, Minecraft has a story and lore and all of that stuff, but I think that Minecraft Legends definitely has a linear story where Minecraft, the regular game, just it has a story, but you don't have to follow that story per se.
For sure. Well, and like I like to see the spin-offs, and kind of going back to the topic earlier, how many spin-offs will they have? Well, as many stories as there are in Minecraft. Minecraft Dungeons had talked about, the story of the pillagers, more or less. There was one arch bad guy, and, well, guess what? He corrupted some villagers or pillagers, and that's why they're evil and in an outpost and causing raids. And now here we have the stories of the piglins and kind of starting to look at the story of the Nether. I would love to see a knockoff game of the story of the end.
That was what I was just gonna say. I would really love to see a end story of how the dragon existed and all of that stuff. And I think that I'd also like to see a spin-off of the Vindicators and how they came to be, because I think that's another interesting group that they could do for sure, another spin-off on. And I do think that Mojang probably is heading in that direction. And I think that the closest they've ever gotten was, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but Telltale Games published a Minecraft story mode video. You can actually find it on Netflix, I believe, still. And it's called Minecraft Story Mode. And it's where it's like an interactive TV show where you'll watch it and then you'll be given, like, do you want to do this or this? And then you pick and it'll keep going. And I think that that was probably the closest they touched. And they were talking about ancient builders and all of that stuff. And I think that and that project, I mean, it came out, but it kind of got lost a little bit. And so, like, it's kind of like Netflix is the only place you can find it, if you can find it there. And there's like lots going on there. So, I do wonder if Mojang will ever look back on that TV series or movie and say, hey, maybe we should turn that into a game, because I do think they had some really cool elements about ancient builders making structures and whatnot. And I'd love to see that as another game
Yeah, that would
spinoff.
be awesome. And the way, because it was probably a while ago, like before, Village and Pillage and stuff, before some of the new structures and stuff, having like a revamp, like Minecraft Legends wouldn't exist. Well, actually, technically, the Minecraft Nether update wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Legends, but like how they tie in hand, if it's not for the updates and the things that are in the core game now of Minecraft, some of these spin-off games wouldn't be possible. So like as we get updates and more lore, like the whole archaeology with the building and the builders, like you said, having that building and now that builders would tie in like perfectly to the whole 1.20 archaeology theme, having another spin-off with just structures.
Exactly. And that was the other thing, was I do think that as much as they're going to push this game forward, I think that if they do any more spin-offs, they're probably going to, the community at least is going to probably want a lot of those features in the base game, like we were saying. And so I think, like, for example, for me, when I saw the Minecraft Legends and I was going through the cutscenes and stuff, immediately fell in love with the bosses and the guy who was sitting in the bath of whatever and all of that. And I'm like, it would be cool to have some nether bosses. And so I wonder, if they keep making more spin-off games, if that is going to make it so that they're being forced by the community to update Minecraft itself more.
If they can work hand in hand like that, that's fine for me, as long as they're all getting updates.
Exactly, right? And that's the thing is I also worry that the more spin-offs that they do, it will result in less update for each game. And I think that I don't know what the structure is right now, but I'm pretty sure that the people developing Minecraft and Minecraft Legends are both the same team. And I think that if they expanded any further into different games, they'd probably have to have a separate team for each to make sure that each is updated and doesn't get neglected.
Now, one thing we had talked about, I'm just glad that Minecraft Legends isn't just by Mojang, who might drop the ball like they did on Dungeons. You know, they have Blackbird Interactive helping them, and I mean, Blackbird Interactive seems to be an industry that, hey, we're going to make a game. Hey, guess what? We're going to make another game. Forget about the last one. We need another one. So, I mean, there might not be too much hope from them either, but having two involved might have a bit more potential.
And I do think also to that fact, I do think having a parent company as big as Microsoft is also really helpful because they've got the amount of money and funding that it requires to keep a game like this on its feet. And I
Hopefully.
think that one of the parts about, yeah, hopefully. And I think that one of the parts about Minecraft Dungeons was that they had the funding, but they didn't have enough. So when players didn't like it, they couldn't keep trying new things as much as they hopefully will with this game. And so I hope that Microsoft will step in a little bit more and help them through until they get to be as popular or hopefully even better than Minecraft itself.
For sure, yeah.
I think that it was kind of interesting that we kind of saw a form of shaders in the Minecraft Legends cutscenes. But yeah, so I do think that it would be nice to see in the base Minecraft Legends game those shaders because it was so impressive in those cutscenes that I think that would probably add a certain form of like just wow factor to the base game. Base Minecraft Legends game because I think a lot of us are playing that on an Xbox or a PS5 or whatever gaming console system, or even just a really high end PC. And I think that that's really important to note that I think that Mojang could probably take the graphics a bit further in Minecraft Legends, or even some of the gameplay mechanics a bit further in the game because of that willingness to play on a console, and they could even restrict it to only PCs and consoles.
Mm-hmm. No, that's definitely a good point. However, one concern I honestly might have with that is Minecraft Dungeons is a great game, you know, everything's moving everywhere, and I think it kind of almost has a bit more shaders. You know, you're going into a cave and it gets darker. You feel like you're going into a cave. Like there's a lot of lighting going on inside there. However, it really shows. It's a bit more lag.
And I think that if they did that, I think that they would definitely have to restrict it to higher operating systems and
Mm-hmm.
higher tech specs because otherwise, because I think like even with Minecraft Dungeons, I think that they probably should restrict that to only higher operating systems so that people who are playing the game can actually enjoy the game. Because I think it's a major turnoff for people when they are playing the game, but they don't have the right tech specs for it. So I would really like to see Mojang implement that.
For sure.
Have you heard? So there's been a lot of debate online about the simplicity of the banner system in Minecraft Legends and how there should be some more mechanics around getting the golems to fight for you and stuff. What are your thoughts on that whole mess and being able to just summon them and all
Yeah.
that?
Well, actually, I think it's more complicated than people want to admit to. Like, you know, you can. I know I play on keyboard and mouse, so I can just press Q and say, hey, go over there, and they all do it. But I think there is a way to go in, but it's a complicated menu screen of, you know, I can get this type of golem to go here and the other type to go there. But if they could come up with some easy way, kind of like that, but to allow certain ones to do certain tasks instead of saying, just go over here, that might be better. But I don't know how they would implement that onto all devices. Like, right now, what they have is basic and good. I mean, it gets the job done. I'm able to slash my piglins into bacon, but I feel like it could be a little bit easier.
Yeah, and I do too. And I think that a lot of people online were saying it's too simple and stuff. But I think at the end of the day, when you're dealing with all of the different things that you're dealing with in the game, you're trying to defend yourself, you're trying to make structures, like all of the different things. I
Hmm.
think that it's probably better that it's a simplistic system because otherwise it would just be one added task to that long list.
Well, when I was saving the skeletons in the main campaign, having the main, or the piglin bastion that was hoarding all the skeletons, and I had to go save them. I didn't really get a chance to watch my troops do the job. The piglins were slashing them up left and right, and I had to keep getting more. I didn't have time to care about where you're going because they got killed pretty quickly. I mean, I was using cheap golems, but there's so much back and forth. It's like when you really get into it, when you're not just saying, hey, I want troops to go in a direction, when you're really focused and having to go back and forth, the piglins are there, you're saving the skeletons, everything's happening everywhere, you almost don't want that little bit more complexity in the middle of all that either.
Exactly. And I think that to speak to that at the same time, I think that Mojang did a good job of adding a little bit of complexity with you having to like get lapis for that, which I think was really good because not only did it make it a little bit harder to get golems, but I think that it also kind of added another feature to lapis, even just in the Minecraft universe, because all it was used for before was enchanting, right? And so it was like, you always had abundance of it. And I think that that was a good way to summon. And I think that at the same time, you don't want it harder. And the point being that they also added complexity in the fact that you have creeper golems and you have skeletons and you have just regular cobblestone golems. And I think that there's strategy in that because, like, I know whenever I'm taking out a piglin outpost or piglin base, I'll take my cobblestone golems and I will go, they're really good at breaking stuff down, right? So that'll be the first wave. And then once guys are done, then I will build a whole army of just creepers and I'll send them in to fight and because they explode on the portal and it makes it really easy to destroy the portal, right? And I think that in that sense, it's also a game of strategy. And even with like the lapis and stuff, for creepers, you need coal, and for skeletons, you need certain ingredients. So I do think that it's more complex than people are willing to talk about.
For sure. And one point that you just kind of made in there with the whole strategy, it was marketed as an action strategy game. And I think a lot of, the downfall right off the bat is, gee, Mojang, you lied. Where's the action? Where's the strategy? And it's like, play the game. Actually, sit down and play the game, and you'll see it pretty soon. There's a lot more on the surface.
Yes, and I think that a lot of players who were saying that were probably people who were watching playthroughs online and whatnot, and they were like, "Well, I'm not seeing anything that's that impressive." And I think at the time they were commenting that, I think it was also really early in the game, so no one had beaten the game or whatever. But like even 7 or 8 hours in, it's taking me like a couple deaths just to be able to beat one piglin structure. I know that I'm on one of the larger bases and I just like it's taken me I've at least spent an hour 30 minutes 2 hours on it and I'm still not done with it. And so I do think it gets progressively harder, but those players were only watching a short segment of Minecraft Legend.
Yeah, now I have a couple things to say about that here in a minute. But the first thing is, you know, I feel like, and I mean, I get it, they were trying to hype it up and everything, but I think I mean, some YouTubers did a good job at giving it to the YouTubers before the majority of the players. I mean, I get the point of it, but I think it was almost a bit of a letdown. I think they did it to too many YouTubers. Too much was out there before people actually got to play it for themselves.
And I do think to that point, and then you can say your other points. I do think that a lot of YouTubers, I think, like with the basic Mojang game, Minecraft, right? A lot of the content they will give to YouTubers first, but they have embargoes set up so that you can't actually release the content until the scheduled release date of the base game. And I think that they probably didn't do that. So we were watching a lot of YouTubers and then the game released. And I think that if Mojang was being smart about it, they probably would have set the embargo date a couple days after the release, so that even though that way the YouTubers could have still got the game early, played it, been able to write a script or whatever they did with the game, right? And they would still have time for that, but they wouldn't be able to publish until players had actually played the game. And I hope that at least in future updates, they do add those embargoes.
That would have definitely made it a lot more fair for everyone around the whole block of it. Now, just a quick question from something you had said in there. You said when you were defeating one of the Piglin Bastions, you had actually died a couple of times. First of all, rest in peace. Second of all,
Yes.
like, so with the deaths in Legends, is it similar to Minecraft? Do you get to try, do you get to be come back and fight the piglins like infinite amount of times if they decide to victorious over you?
Yeah, so this is the question, or this is a really interesting question. Basically, what happens when you die, and I actually really appreciate the end screen in this, and I wish that it was actually in the base game. You'll see the classic Minecraft open book texture, and it will have a number on it, and it'll give you a countdown from like 6 to 1 or whatever, and it will go like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you'll be able to respawn. And I like that because it's not as infinite. You can't just keep clicking respawn, so you have to wait a minute, and it kind of makes you like, it kind of makes a punishment almost. And then once you respawn, your golems and creepers and skeletons don't actually respawn with you. They are still all the way out at the bastion wherever.
I'm guessing you respawn at the Well of Fate.
Yeah, well, so this is the thing. So you can either, depending on how far you've gotten in the game, you can either respawn at the Well of Fate, you can respawn at the closest village. They added
Mm.
that, which I thought was really cool. And then once you get further into the game, there's a building called the Tower or something. And it's basically, it costs a lot, it's ridiculous amount of resources, but you can build it next to the Piglin base. Obviously not on the Netherite, but on the grass next to it, and you can actually respawn at that, and it's like a respawn anchor. And I think that was a really cool implementation, but still they won't respawn with you, so they end up dying, and then you have to waste more resources to build another spawner and all of that stuff.
Okay, that's definitely good to know. Now, like, do you get infinite lives though?
So yes, you do get infinite lives. I'm hoping, and I do think that Minecraft Legends, just based on their other two games, I think that it would be awesome if they implemented like a hardcore mode, like regular Minecraft, where you only get one life. I think that would be a really interesting idea for the base game. But for right now, yes, you do get infinite lives, but it takes away your golems. It makes you go really far away, and at the same time, I think it's really interesting that you also lose, like, in regular Minecraft you lose your entire inventory, but in here on that like left hand corner you'll see like you've got 100 coal and 150 of this and 1000 of this. You'll lose a little bit of everything, and I think that that's also kind of a way to punish you for dying.
Like you said, I think I'd also definitely agree. Hardcore mode would be really good in this game. I kind of like how Dungeons honestly had done it. Like it's a big punishment, but it's like you don't lose all your progress. You might have, destroyed, oh, I've forgotten the names of some of the maps. You might have destroyed Creeper Woods, but you know, the next one you might have failed whatever one of the other maps is in Dungeons. So you have to start over on that map, but you get to still keep your progress on Creeper Woods. Like, I feel like that would be an interesting one in Legends. Like, the last one, the last portal that you destroyed is still destroyed, but the one you are in the process of is completely reset. You gotta start over. That would be another interesting method or game mode.
It would, and I think that Minecraft Legends to that point is trying to do a story mode where it's continuous, so the world is always happening. But I do think it would be interesting to see if how players would react to that kind of feature. And I think that a lot of it, there's also, to kind of go to another topic but kind of related, another way that I think is really cool that Mojang added, like when you die and whatnot, is the upgrades where you build those at your home base and stuff. There a variety of cool ones, but I think the two that are my favorite right now are the one where all of the village chests where you can collect loot are all put together. So you have one chest and that's all of the loot. And then I think it's also cool. So once you finally defeat the piglin base, all the netherite stays, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that this one's really cool. So it's called curing netherite, and it's so that you can have your allies cure that netherite all throughout the netherite patch so that you can start building on it again, which I think is really cool.
Originally they had said like, it was supposed to be a permanent scar in the world, and I mean that kind of made sense since when we see ruined portals there's netherrack all over the place. But I really love the option because it's in such great big clumps, to finally be able to say goodbye piglins, I did destroy you, and kind of that final marker and get to literally plant some flowers on it.
Yeah, and I will tell you, it does. It's like I don't know if it's worth the time that it takes because it for sure curing that netherite. I mean, it takes. I think it's like a 16 by 16 block area that an ally will clean out. So you have to do it a lot. But I do think that it was a cool feature to implement.
It's at least something you can do for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that there's a lot of cool features like that.
And I mean, kind of going on with that, they say the playtime for this game is what, 10 to 12 hours. But honestly, I could see spending an entire year just going around and cleaning up and saving everything. So,
Yeah, and I do think I haven't got to the end of the game by any means, and I don't actually know anyone IRL that has, but I would be interested to see if once we got to the end of the game, if we would be able to, if the random piglin spawns of the, like when they come and try to attack the villages and whatnot, if that would still happen, like in the Lost Legends, and you could just keep trying to go on with that forever, or if that's not even possible anymore.
well, actually, like, I know on the Lost Legends, now, I think there was an option the first time I had actually played through it, and I said, no, go ahead and take me back to the main menu. So I might have, kind of screwed up for forevermore. But, like, after I'm done with the Lost Legend, and I have, all my stuff set up, I am no longer able to play the game after I beat Wave 20 again. It's like, I want to take a look and walk around my world. I don't care if no more piglins show up. I at least want to look at it or something.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
doesn't give me that option. So I wonder, like, if you defeat the last Piglin Bastion, are you now done with that world? Are you no longer allowed to go back? Have you saved the day? Get out of here.
And I would hope that I would at least be able to see the world and all of that stuff. And if not, I would hope that the at least the piglins would keep attacking villages because that's a really interesting point of reference. And I do think that I would hope that it would be like in regular Minecraft, right? You defeat the Ender Dragon and then you take a portal. It gives you the end credits to be like, hey, these are the people who helped make the game, but then it takes you back to your world and you can keep farming or whatever. And I think that would be really cool. I also think it would be really cool if they had a feature in the game like the beacons where you can, or the not the beacons, uh whatever they were, but where you can respawn the ender dragon. I think that would be really cool to have in Minecraft Legends. Like maybe there was some block that you could get and all of a sudden respawn the final piglin boss or something. Something like that.
I mean, this sounds cruel and an unusual punishment to the poor world, but, like, maybe a book or something that can corrupt your LAs or something, or maybe not necessarily that bad on your LAs, but something that you can be turn into the villain and like grow your own piglin bastion right from the ground, make your own little portal for the piglins to hop out of, and then go back and destroy it. So make something for yourself for you then to destroy.
Yes, and for two things off of that that I have. One, I would wonder if with Minecraft 1.20 live, right, we all voted the LA in. I would wonder if they were planning on, because they enjoyed the LA so much, if they were going to put that in Minecraft Legends no matter what, and then it just happened to be in the regular game, or if they didn't really know what was going to happen in Minecraft Legends, and then they worked on the alley for the base game, they decided after to do it.
Quite honestly, I think everything that we see in Minecraft Legends, even down to the Nether update, was all in Legends first. I know the LA was in Legends first, but I think the entire concept of the Nether update, the warped forest, all came from the Horde of the Spore. And I think everything in vanilla Minecraft is actually not from vanilla Minecraft. I think it was all in Legends first.
So when did they start production on this game? I'm not familiar with the history of this area.
Clear back in like 2018 is when had first, not Jed, when Jeb had first worn his Badger shirt, was the first leak at the Project Badger. And obviously, if he was already able to tease that shirt, I mean,
it was probably in production.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense that some of those updates probably came into the base game. Yeah, and with that, I think that it's interesting. So that's an interesting point that Jeb had already been teasing this a long, long time ago. So a lot of them probably came through there. For the base game of Minecraft Legends, how overall are you liking it so far?
The attention to detail. I mean, every little thing was, really hand looked at. I mean, everything. I know people are discovering pineapples for the first time and are saying, gee, I found this in the files. Where is it in the game? I mean, random things that a pineapple is not game changing. You can't do anything with it. But, they put that in the game. The water's moving, the grass is moving. It's a beautiful world. Even if I'm not sitting there fighting the piglins, which I really enjoy to do, it's just a fun world to walk around. I am enjoying Legends. Legends is legendary.
Yes. And I think that that is a good point to stop. But I do think that with that, I do think that the Minecraft Legends itself, I think they did a really good job with all of that attention to detail, like you said. And I am just astounded by all the different features and all of that stuff.
Well, with that, this has not only is Minecraft Legends legendary, but I hope y'all think that this podcast was legendary. So for your channel, what are you thinking? What's going on in the Crytek Gaming channel this week or next couple weeks?
Let's see. So I've done lots of Minecraft Legends videos, right? Because it's the newest in the Minecraft universe. I'm probably going to start trying to transition a little bit back to regular Minecraft. Hopefully get a couple more tutorials out. As if you've seen my channel, you'll know that I also do a lot of short form video challenges, and hopefully I'll get some of those out. I'm also trying to get into a couple SMPs and hopefully do a little bit more non-scripted like we did today instead of my normal scripted tutorial, and see how viewers like that.
That sounds like an amazing legendary plan. For me, I'm pretty much continuing Legends. I feel bad for my viewers who couldn't care less about Legends because I'm posting Legends videos left and right. But
yeah,
I gotta save some more villagers. I mean, I got to.
Exactly. And I think that this is the thing about YouTube is you can't please every single person, right? And so there's going to be some people who aren't going to like it, and that's totally fine because you've got a wide variety of things, of viewers. And I think the one thing that I forgot to mention was I'm hoping to start doing like I've been doing, but just continue to do a Sunday and Wednesday upload. And I'm hoping, if you haven't seen it already, please go check out my latest video. I did a full video on speed running tips of like the apps you can use to get like the Ender Eye measurement and all of that stuff, and also just a general outline of how to speed run the game.
Nice.
What was your last video on? Just more Legends stuff?
Well, I almost saved some skeletons. Now, by the time this video actually, or not video, hey, look at that, the image not moving, yay, it's a podcast. But then when this podcast actually finally does come out, I might have actually even saved the skeletons, because there's kind of a two-part I cut off halfway because video length, fun, yay. But I might actually Either you're going to see that I have saved some skeletons, or am almost saving some skeletons.
Well, that's a good place to be, right?
Couldn't be any better.
Well, thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah. With that, I hope you've enjoyed the legendary world of Minecraft Legends. You can find this podcast right here on YouTube. It's the only place it is for a little while, as we hope that Covert Zen is able to rejoin us in the future. But with that, that is everything.